Welcome to In This Season podcast, where we unpack the most empowering conversations, have exclusive and inspirational interviews, and host special events. Join Tammy, some call her Butterfly, and explore life's purpose by learning how to embrace each season of your life with confidence, strength, and purpose. Whether you're blooming in the spring, or shining in the summer, or embracing change in the fall, or gracefully hibernating in the winter, get ready to be inspired. Join us right here on this season of In This Season podcast with your host, The Butterfly. It's time, no matter what season it is.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. How is it going? How is it going? How is it going? Let's come in. Let's feed those ducks. Life feeding you or you feeding life? Pimping wearing you or you wearing the pimpin'? All right, let me know you're here as you get your groove on. Come on, wake it up. It's almost Friday. Am I in the future? All right, let's get on here added here. Groove on in. Bebop.
How you doing, Mama?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Enjoying the morning.
You good?
Yeah, quick start.
Yeah.
Enjoying in the morning.
All right, let's see who we have grooving with us this morning. Big Mike says, good morning, everyone. Mike said he coming to feed the ducks. Can't call it Mike's solid kind of morning. All right, you guys, let's jump on in so we can get these ducks fed and on their way. All right. What you got over there, Brandon? Like you... Oh.
Some water.
Oh. Representing the windows is wanting.
Yeah.
All right.
Got to shout out your business.
All right.
How you doing,
That's
Mama?
right,
What's going on with you?
I'm good. Good morning. Good everything, Miss Brenda says. Good everything, everyone, she says. But yeah, Brandon,
Good morning,
I'm
Miss
good
Brenda.
this morning. I'm every day kind of feeling a little bit less congested, I guess I would say, because I think I had maybe 1 or 2 days where I kind of felt bad, but mostly just congestion. So I feel a little bit more freer today. And it could be that I got out with the kids and just had that sun hit me.
Yeah, that's good.
You were going to say what?
What was I going to say? I said, yeah, it seemed like a long cold. Not very hard, not very big symptoms, but very, very long.
Yeah. Well, let's do it, you guys. Let's jump right into it and do what we got to do. That's right. Auntie Richetta says, good morning, Butterfly and nephew. We got our butterfly and hearts there with her too. So thank you for joining us, and we missed you. I don't know if I don't remember. Well, maybe she came in later. I don't know. I think we missed her yesterday. I did. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get into it.
All right, sounds good, y'all. Thank you for joining us and incorporating us as a part of your morning routine. We appreciate it, and we're grateful for it. And we're glad to have you here, and we are glad to be here to celebrate our progress, right? Our progress and our moving forward mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And one of the ways that we're doing that, the way that we decided to do that on this show, is by reading together. And the book that we are reading is Daily Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro. If you don't have the book, make sure you get it. I wonder how many of us have the book. Let us know in the chat if you have the book. If you don't, please get that book. It's a low-cost, high-value book, published in 1992, but it's still very, very relevant today. Daily Motivations for African American Success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. In 365 short, powerful motivations, one for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom. from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year, and what it teaches will last you a lifetime. You got anything for us, before we start the show? Before we go into the reading?
I saw that Big Mike watch. Well, I know that Big Mike watched the video. He did do a check the cup. So I'll share one thing about it different because of
What did you do
yesterday, right? So typically I put um, my sugar in, and as I mentioned before, I used to put the collagen peptide in the coffee in the cup before I poured the coffee in. And so, I got that little inkling to put and that's the way the lady explained me to do it, to put it in my coffee. And then I noticed how it would just uh, dissolve into the coffee, right? Like it's eating it up. Well, and before I would usually put my cream in, and my creamer is cold, right? So I'm like this morning, well, why don't I put the collagen peptide in before the creamer? Because I'm sure, because it's cold, it changes the temperature of my coffee, right? And so I did, and it dissolved a bit quicker, right? And y'all might be like, damn, this is too much, but it again, it spoke to me like, if keep yourself warm, keep your coffee warm. Because imagine if I poured it in there and I'm cold. If life happens to me, but I'm lukewarm, right? I'm on the fence, right? If my coffee is already cold. And how do we keep ourselves warm? Stay connected. Stay connected. What would you do if you know you had new light bulbs? Your electricity is working, right? It's on. But when you plug things in, they don't work. You get the socket fixed, right? There's something maybe going on in there. And if you need that light, you're going to have an electrician over to fix it, right? Well, you got an electrician, right? He can warm your coffee so that when life happens, when life pops on us, we ain't got to go and warm the coffee. We ain't got to go make the coffee, right? We ain't really got to add nothing to it. But if you're adding something that's beneficial, right? Why not add it first? Because truth be told, I probably don't even need the creamer. Truth be told, probably don't need the sugar either. But at least I do use the brown sugar, right? Sugar, right? But I got that this morning. Just keep your coffee hot. Your relationship with God hot off the press. It's like Steve Harvey said that day. He said it different than I usually said. Come at me if you want. I ain't over here by myself. Get in my coffee cup if you want. My coffee is hot. That's what I'm gonna say. So y'all, find y'all little things that keep you connected to God, right? Find a way matter of fact, to connect everything to God. Brandon's dryer on the other side of that is fixed. Y'all know, matter of fact, Jimmy said, you know how many people would have, oh, we lost Brandon. I guess he clicked his stuff off. He said, you know how many people would have just got a new dryer? Especially young folks, instead of trying to fix it. So kudos to you, Brandon. And, and didn't trip out about it. Thankful that I had a dryer to fix. Because somebody has spent their days and nights loading clothes, taking them to the laundromat to either wash and dry, or to wash or to dry, because they only have
We've
one.
done that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
of course. We
it's
talked about that. Yeah. So, y'all, keep your coffee hot. What's in your cup? Because what's in it, like the one we did one day, well, we didn't do that particular one, but we talked about our cup and our saucer runs over. But we read a reading about what's in your cup. If someone bumps into you, that's what spills out, right? There was coffee in the cup, there was tea in the cup, there was lemonade in the cup. Is God in your cup? And if He is, are you connected, right? Is it warm, hot, or lukewarm? right? So over to you, Brandon.
Thanks, Mom. I like those, and I know you go hard about what you see and stuff like that. Like it's the coffee or the magnesium, but I love the way you break it down and find so much find so much guidance in it in the small
Mm.
things. So I can only imagine. I meant to do this the other day. I took a picture of it. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday, the day before yesterday. I was looking for a parking spot, and then I did one more rotation around, and the first one was open. And I took a picture of it. I meant to send it to you, but
But Brandon,
I
that's
like.
what it's about. Like the next time, my prayer, my hope here is out of that story. Because like I told you, I'm gonna get mine, y'all. I'm gonna get mine, and if you leave some crumbs, I'm getting yours too. But when people make coffee, I hope that they think about that story and think about God. What is my relationship with God? Is it lukewarm? Is it hot? That's the beauty of it, right? So thank God for, I call it my little cookie things, because I know probably to some people it sounds like over the top, but I don't care. I'm gonna keep on talking and sharing. And for those who know that they know that they know that they know that only God can get them through, and they need every little cookie story from everybody that has one, that's who those stories are for. Either you get it or you don't. Either you feeding the ducks or they feeding you. That's it. Sorry to interrupt you,
No,
Brandon, but
no,
that's it.
you good, baby. You good. You good. I was just saying, I appreciate the way you look at stuff and the way that you break it down and find light in every situation. Um, Even if light isn't on it, you'll put the light on it and find God in it. So I love that about you. But today is October 10th, October 10th, and our title for today is cross training. Cross training. And our quote comes from Reverend Calvin Butts, who's a pastor of the Abyssinian Baptist Church. And he said, God is, period. That's it.
Mm.
God is, exclamation mark. It was written, he has achieved success, who has lived long, laughed often, and loved much, who has gained the trust of pure women, the respect of intelligent men, and the love of little children, who has filled his niche and accomplished his task, who has left the world better than he found it, whether by an improved copy, a perfect poem, or a rescued soul, who has always appreciated earth's beauty and never failed to express it, who has
Mm.
always looked for the best in others and always given the best he had, whose life was an inspiration, whose memory a benediction. This moving statement, besides providing a spirit filled soliloquy, sets the stage for the following story. Several years ago, a child wanted to enter a Sunday school class in Philadelphia, but was told there was not enough room.
Wow.
She began saving her pennies to, quote, help the church build a bigger class. 2 years later, the girl became ill and died.
Mm.
Family and friends who cleaned out her belongings found a small book under her pillow. Within the book were 57 pennies and a piece of paper that read, to help the little temple bigger, so more children can go to Sunday school.
Mm.
One Sunday, the pastor told this story to his congregation, and a newspaper picked up the lead. The story soon spread across the country. Soon, the pennies grew, and the outcome can be seen in Philadelphia today. Thanks to a little girl's tiny seed, there is a church that seats nearly 4,000 members. Thanks to her humble efforts, Temple University was founded.
Oh, wow.
And thanks to her mighty gift, the Temple Sunday School was constructed. And it all began with a tiny child who wanted to make the world a better place for others.
Mm.
And our affirmation at the end of this beautiful passage is, today I will make a contribution to help make this world a better place to live.
Mm.
Today, I will make a contribution to help make this world a better place to live. Over to you, Mom.
Woo! Wow. I found myself trying to fight back the tears. I didn't get to read this one. And but then, I'm like, cries of joy, tears of joy, because this little girl, her life and her legacy lives, y'all. And they say this tiny girl, this tiny child, right, who made in what some may see a tiny beginning, and she loses her life. But sometimes, you guys, we don't see people until they're gone. And what, so if she had not, if God had not allowed her to come on, right, what do you think the people, most people wouldn't have even responded or reacted? Oh, you can't put a dent in things like that. Don't save your money, or just let her save it, knowing or thinking that nothing's going to happen to it. So as I caught myself fighting back the tears, I'm like, wait a minute, there's a beautiful thing that happened here. Change, right? Be the change you want to see in the world. That's the best contribution. Make a commitment, right, to birth the change that God, the vision, the baby that God gave you, which is something that you could help, something that you could produce that will help the world. So the best thing is be the change you want to see in the world. Create a change in the world that would help change the world and people. Because there's no doubt that God has given us something, some things that will change somebody and this world. It's just that we get afraid to act upon them, right? I'm talking to myself now, right? We get busy, fearful, caught up, another new idea, and we move right to the next one before completing that last one. Just one. And yesterday it says, one moment, please. I did that yesterday. I realized I tried to determine or see where I was losing time and moments. And y'all, one of them is just looking for stuff. Like looking for stuff that I continue to just put stuff down, these glasses. Lord have mercy, if I had some money for every time I had to look for them. That's why, like Fred Sanford, I have 100 pair of them, right? Where I could just create something. And that's what I said this morning after yesterday. When I walk in that door, I thought about putting it in the garage, like a box in the garage, just dump everything in the box. And when I need it, go get it, right? So more time for contemplation. But this is a beautiful one. Cross training, right? This tiny child who wanted to make the world a better place for the others. I also thought about, they told her it was full. She could not attend. My day, no child would have got turned away from Sunday school. If you had to sit on the teacher's back, or up there with the teacher, or scrammed in, but you were going to get in Sunday school. Packed up, let's move it outside. Different day, different people, different time, right? And that's what kept our elders going. I believe it's one thing about most elders back then. No matter what it looked like to us or to anybody else, I'm going to tell you what they were going to do. They were going to make time to seek God. They made time, right? They trusted upon God. They had faith in God. And whatever came their way, they knew their coffee was hot. They dealt with it. It's like right now I'm thinking about my grandma B sitting through her child's funeral, praising God. Whatever you say will be, right? So they didn't need cross training, because I believe they kept themselves praying. Matter of fact, as I watched my grandmother on that bench, y'all will never forget that sight. She's closing her eyes and she's just praying and lifting God up through it all, right? right? But we find ourselves complaining about, I'll say the microwave. I won't say the dryer because Brandon might think I'm talking about him, right? But the microwave go out and we like, oh, my microwave, man, y'all. There we go. So I'll turn it over to you, Brandon. I'll have a bit more as I want to share something else before we jump off.
Thank you for that. I was muted a little bit. Didn't want to be coughing all over y'all. Um, I was trying to figure out why it was called cross training, but I think I understand it. I think since it's a church in consideration of the cross, uh, it was like training, for the cross. Like she made it was through her using the Christian tradition. It was through her sacrifice that church was built. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think usually cross training, the way when I hear it as a title or as a um, just something that we say colloquially, I think about training in a different sport to help you in your main sport. So for example, if I'm trying to become more agile for you know trying to become more agile for track or for basketball, I might play tennis. I might do something else, right? We're doing some cross training, or I might lift weights in order to become stronger at fighting. But I was like, why are they calling this cross training? Cross training. I was like, oh, she helped to save money to build an entire university and an entire church. Churches cross. Oh, okay, I get it. So I think it's called cross training because of that in particular. But one thing I want to say, and I won't keep us long, is the never underestimate the additions or what someone can bring to the table, right? No matter who it is, never underestimate what someone is offering. It might be small to you, but it could be big in the grand scheme of things, right? So never underestimate when someone makes a suggestion. When their intention is good and they're trying to help, make sure that you aren't taking it as a grain of salt. Now if their intentions are bad and they're just being silly, like, I mean, I get it. You can be discerned, but especially a child. My daughter and my son will bring me things that to me, they could be, I mean, I got them everywhere, to be honest with you. Got little drawings and little things that they've made. But to me, they may be, I could look at it and say, that's just a piece of paper, right? That's just a little heart that you drew on a piece of paper or a piece of cardboard. That's just a sticker, but it means the world to me. My son came to me the other day and was like, Daddy, I got a sticker for you. And he was like, put it right here. And I was like, okay. He's like, keep it there. My mom came over. You came over what? Later on that afternoon?
I think so.
He gave it to me, and I think that morning, or it might have been the night before, actually. And I had on this little like wife beater, and my mom was like, you got it too, don't you? And I'm looking around like, got what? And I still had the sticker on the side of my shirt, right under my rib. And I was like, yeah, and it made me think about it. Like, that probably means the world to him. Just to see me walk around with that sticker, to still have it. He's like, man, my dad kept it, So what that could change for him, his psychology, what that could change for him and his ability to appreciate others, he may mirror that same quality and grow it within himself. That little seed is now planted. But never discount what someone else is bringing to the potluck. Whether they bring, a cornbread or they bring a whole turkey, you know what I mean? Whether they bring something you like or something you don't like, they brought something to the table. They brought something to the potluck. In the case of this little girl, how amazing is it that she didn't tell anyone? I think that's very important. That she didn't tell anyone. She wasn't out saying, I'm raising money to build the church and the Sunday school. She didn't go out boasting about, and that's how you can tell her intentions were pretty pure. You know, and as a child, I mean, what else could you get? But she didn't go out promoting what she was doing. She was doing it in secret. It was between her and her creator. And imagine that could have been the thing um, that pleased God so much that He decided, come on home. I'll grant you paradise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Before you get the chance to get older, before you get the chance to make mistakes in life, before you get the chance to lose your innocence, before this world gets the chance to touch your brain, to touch, I mean, your mind and your heart, and to taint your spirit at all, let me go ahead and bring you up to me, you know, as a reward. Because think about it, as a child, this is a little girl. Imagine meeting your maker and being like, Lord, I only had 7 years of life. You know, I didn't do much. I didn't have the chance to do much. And God come back and say, but you did a lot. The pennies, was it 57 pennies that you saved up, inspired people to build an entire university that departed beneficial knowledge on other people, and an entire church, you know, and Sunday school, to where people can learn about me, where people can come to glorify my name and to seek me. And every time they seek me in that space, every time they pray at that altar, every time they enter that place and glorify my name, you receive a part of the blessing.
Mm.
So even though you're not you're not in that world, you're still receiving benefits and blessings and deeds. And I can still show you that mercy, and I can give you that full, because of course God knows what all is going to happen. I can give you that full recompensation, that full compensation for the work that you've done. That 57 pennies, just like I remember the story in the Bible where people were giving their charity, and a woman, I think it was a woman or a man, I think it was a woman, gave
Okay.
all she had. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a very little amount. It was the equivalent of pennies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, and that was almost ridiculed by people, right? Whereas the rich man, you know, who had plenty of excess would give some gold. Look at me, right? And to us, that gold is worth more. To us, we can build more with that gold, right? As a physical property. But the way God sees it, and the way, you know, the Messiah saw it at that time, was that this was worth more. The penny was the last that she had was worth more than the gold of this rich man who gave it in arrogance, who gave it boastfully to show off, right? He gave it just in order to give, you know, to have some political advantage. He gave it in order to have, you know, some benefit in this world, right? Whereas the woman who feared poverty, gave her last. For her, she was looking for the next world, for her reward in the next world. She wasn't looking to give you a reminder of her charity, right? So that you would think more of her, but rather she wanted to please and glorify God. And so I saw the same thing in reading this passage with this little girl, that she wasn't boastful about it, but what that 57 cents, I hope I'm getting that right, 57 cents meant to God, and the purity of her intention, right, was so pure that she still benefited from it. And who knows, we might see it as, oh, this girl died, right? Man, this girl died. She didn't get a chance to have a full life. But what better life is a life, a never-ending life in paradise? What better life is it than a never-ending life in paradise? What is it to grow up in this world and suffer and feel hunger and feel pain and feel sadness and cry tears and get hurt and have to overcome it? I mean, those are things that are here to test us, right? But look at her. She finished her test early and graduated with flying colors. And not
Mm.
only that, but she inspired others to do the same. And so when you do a good deed, when you do something that's good, remember that you also take on, like, it's not just one deed. I don't know if you guys understand, if people really understand this, but when you sin, right? It's a sin. It's counted as one sin. But when you bless someone, or you do a good deed, or you do something righteous, God multiplies those deeds. God is certainly the most merciful and the most compassionate and all aware. So when you do something good, God has already promised that He will multiply your good deeds, right? And restrict your bad deeds to the one deed that you did. If you go out and God forbid you steal something, God doesn't say, "Oh, it's like you stole 1,000 times," you know. But there is one thing that is multiplied. If you kill someone, and it says this in the Quran. It says that, if you to murder an innocent person, it is as if you've murdered, everyone in the world. That's how precious a human life is. But if you've saved a life, it is if you've saved the entire world. So there's certain things like that, but specifically on good deeds versus bad deeds. Um, your good deeds, God multiplies those with His mercy, and your bad deeds are normally relegated to just one or two. So imagine that 57 cents has now grown into Temple University. That 57 cents has now grown to a Sunday school. That 57 cents has grown into children going to Sunday school and people going to church, meeting their significant other, having a family, getting married, having more children, becoming educated. Now imagine on Judgment Day, excuse me, that little girl goes to meet her maker and sees mountains and mountains and mountains of her good deeds. And she's like, "What are these?" And she's handed her record in her right hand. And she sees, "I didn't build a church. I didn't build a temple. I didn't do." But, and God informs her, "You did. You did. With this inspiration, with this story. I made sure that your story got out to people, that it hit the paper out of my mercy. And look what happened. You inspired thousands." So never underestimate the additions of the smallest people among us. Never underestimate the contributions of people that might seem insignificant to us. That might be only because we didn't take a closer look. Maybe we didn't take a closer look at that coffee cup and saw that collagen dissipating inside of the cup, you know. But it made a difference to someone else. So the same way, Mom, that you see so much beauty and so much God, so much divinity inside of the smallest things. I think that's a blessing. I think that's an
Mhm.
attribute. That's an attribute departed to you by the Most High, right? To be able to look at something so small and so seemingly like it's not novel. It's a cup of coffee. You've added something to your coffee, but to find God in it, right? I'd like to imagine that God smiles at that. I'd like to imagine that God befriends the people that see Him in those spaces, right? And I sense that God wanted, um, in this story, a friend like that little girl. You belong in paradise. You belong with me. So let's try to make friends with God by doing things that'll be precious to Him. The same warmness that fills my heart. When my son or my daughter brings me something that they drew just for me.
Mhm.
Imagine God loving you more than you love your own children, than I love my own children,
Mm.
and you bringing Him 57 cents to build a Sunday school, right? And how proud you'll be, if
Mm.
you get to Judgment Day and you see that God still got your 57 cent, just like I still had that sticker stuck on my rib. How proud you would be as a child of God. And by child, I mean, a creation of God. So that's what I'll leave us with, Mom. You said you had something for us to share, but I wanted to depart
Yes.
that to you.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for that, Brandon. This before I forget this the stickers, right? So they're all over the house here, you guys. I mean, there is no I feel like there's one on the chair, on the bottom of the chair, and I was getting the chair to put on the table. Y'all know how we do it when we mop. You turn well, that's how we do it. We turn the chair upside down on the table so under the table is clear. And there was a sticker on the bottom. And I take such joy. I don't pull them off, because to me it's a reminder of the grandbabies that they were here, and they're forever just walking around, just putting stickers on you. And like Brandon said, that's an expression of love from them, right? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Zolly gave me a heart, always giving something. And so I stuck the heart behind the seat, the passenger seat, because she sits behind there when she's with me. And so I have these covers on my seat, and I could just stick the heart right up, so when she's sitting there, she could see it. And the first time she was like, "Grandma, there's the heart I gave you." I said, "Yep, that's where I'm going to keep it, so you will always be reminded of my heart for you." And so she gets it's still there. Sometimes she'll get it as we're driving, and she'll play with it, and then she'll stick it right back there. So these are and other things around the house. But you guys, so cross training, cross training is about building, improving. And it says here, um, it says, let's see, several years ago, a child wanted to enter a Sunday school class in Philadelphia, but was told there was not enough room. She began saving her pennies to help the church build, right, a bigger class. Build. And I've looked this up, you guys. The little girl's name is, let me go back. Hold on here. There's a story here about her, about it. So it is a whole thing. Let me back up, because I've gone to the story here. All right. Hattie Mae Wyatt, a 6-year-old girl who lived near Grace Baptist Church in Philadelphia, right? Her name is Hattie Mae Wyatt. And it said the little girl who died and left 57 cents to build. So there's a whole story, and I'll put it out there, you guys, for you. But I want to do this. The God is what our quote for today is. I hope I didn't lose it. Oh, I did. But we're gonna get this back. We're not gonna do this. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. There we go. There we go. You ain't gonna lose me today. All right, so we got Brandon on, right? And I'm gonna put this out there, you guys, because God is. If you had to complete that for your life, for you, God is, right? So I found this list, as Brandon was talking, A to Z, who God is list. Brandon, your name starts with B. Miss Brenda starts with B. God is beautiful. Gaze on the beauty of the Lord. Psalm 27:4. So that's your word, beautiful. Let's go to, I saw Mike out there, right? So let's go to our M, mighty. Mike, that's your word today. Great is our Lord and mighty in power. His understanding has no limit. Psalms 147:5 for you today. I saw Auntie Richetta out there. Let's look. Righteous. There is no God apart from me, a righteous God and a Savior. There is none but me. Isaiah 45:21. I saw Monique. Good morning to you. We didn't get to say good morning to you, but good morning there. Mighty. God is mighty. Great is our Lord and mighty in power. Same for Mike. His understanding has no limit. Psalms 147:5. And I will not forget myself. Trustworthy for T. The Lord is trustworthy in all he promises and faithful in all that he does. Psalms 145:13. I'm going to put this list out there. Let me just see, did anybody else pop in that I can give this list to, or give the first letter? Not that has popped in, but I'm going to post it out there, you guys. Use it as a reference as you go. It goes A to Z. A to Z. So we cannot go wrong with it, right? We cannot. Um, you know what? Let me do this. Zillias for Zolly. I should do the Q.
Mm-hmm.
Mess it up, but because I call her that. Let's do it, and then we'll get out of here. Quick to forgive. Oh, that's
That's
so
just
God.
her. Yeah.
Yes. If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just, and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness. So fitting for Kitsali. Y'all, she has such a beautiful, beautiful heart. I'm out buying stuff for them. Took them to Five Below. And she sees something. She says, "Oh, my daddy likes these." And so I told Brandon we had already checked out, but I'm gonna go get those. Just a few little Pokemon men or something. I haven't seen them, but that's just who she is. Another thing, Brandon, and we're gonna get out of here. We were going to see Mima, which is an elderly lady out here that has just taken upon. We love the kids, always buying them something. So we were walking around the lake to go meet her out there, and Zolly was a little bit afraid because we went behind the bushes to kind of get to the lake, and she was like, "Oh, okay, Mom, I'm afraid." And Tupac says, "I will protect you, Kid Solly."
That's my boy.
Yes, and you guys, I was like, "That's right, son. You got to take care of your sister. You are her protector. Take care of her." And so, y'all, there is such. That's why I say the babies matter. Don't take away what God has in these little ones, because there's so much that we can learn from their big faith. 57 cents. Y'all know what I want to do now? I just want to take it upon myself to drop 57 cents in something every day. What if I did that for the rest of my life in remembrance of this young girl? And that someday, who knows, maybe even Kitsali and Tupac will have something to give back to someone or give to something. That's cross training, y'all. We got to build upon what God has given us. God is. What is God to you? God is. See, I could talk about him being the coffee in my cup, right? But if I never drink from this cup or have faith what's in it, faith for what's in this cup, if I just made it and never drank it, what good is it? So are you willing to cross train today? Are you willing to cross train today and every day thereafter to be the change that you want to see in this world so that this world can be a better place? See, you can want it to be a better place, but you ain't doing nothing. You can want your house clean, but if you don't clean it or hire somebody to come do it, it's not going to change. If you don't put gasoline in your car, you ain't going anywhere, right? You can go sit out there all you want, but it's not going to happen. So do some cross training today, you guys. I'm going to post a list out there. I'll also post a story about our young, beautiful, young baby, right? I'll post that. Take the time to read it. But if you don't, that's on you. Because like I said, I'm gonna get what God has for me. And I'm gonna ask, if you don't want yours, give that to me too, God. And give me the ability and the desire to do some cross training with it, to build upon it, right? And if you're not, why are you here? Why are you here? If you're just cooking food to not eat, buying a car to never drive it, buying a house to never walk through the door, put the furniture on the outside, never go in, sounds crazy, right? But if truth be told, that's how we're living our life. We're saying we serve a good, mighty God with all these A to Z list of things that he is. But what are we doing with those things? Awesome, beautiful, dependable, ever present, faithful, good, holy, I am. Those are just some of the words. Just, kind, loving, mighty, near. Near, y'all, that's a good one. Our only God is another one. Patient, quick to forgive, righteous, strong, trustworthy, unchanging. I don't care how much you change. Unchanging. I, the Lord, do not change. Malachi 3:6. Victorious, wise, excellent, yearning for us, yearning for us. Listen, I am standing at the door, knocking. If you hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to you, right? And eat with you. Eat with you, drink with you, and you with me. If you abide in me, I will abide in you. Y'all remember that? Zealous. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I will be zealous for my holy name. Ezekiel 39:25. I'm going to put this list out there, y'all. Use it today. It will take only a second. If you could come here and spend 35, 45 minutes, an hour sometimes with us, take this list and take it into cross training because God is. Over to you, Brandon, for closing out.
Awesome. Thank y'all again for letting us be a part of your morning routine, especially the ones that are coming here every single day. Mike, Auntie Rachetta, Tasha, Miss Brenda, we appreciate y'all so much. Mom, you know what? I left my Instagram family out.
I thought about that yesterday. Yeah.
I just thought
I'll have
about
to get
that.
them back on. You know, they'll probably come on so quick if they see us out there now. Go, where they been? You know, so tomorrow we'll have to make sure we do it.
Okay, we'll do that. And but I appreciate y'all. And let's wrap this thing up here. So today's title was cross training, and Reverend Calvin Butts said, God is pastor of the Abyssinian Baptist Church. He said, God is. And our affirmation today that I want you guys to carry with you is today, I will make a contribution to help make this world a better place to live. Today, I will make a contribution to help make this world a better place to live. So find something to do, look for something to do. If nothing comes immediately to mind, keep your eyes open, keep your heart open as you go throughout your day. It might be $1, it might be some time, it might be an ear that you lend, but do something and make some type of contribution to help make this world a better place. So thank y'all again, and we'll see y'all tomorrow, 7 a.m. Mom, you got the ducks ready?
Yeah, I do. Big Mike says she gave me a cracker yesterday, meaning that Zolly, she called me over to my sis's car and said, here, this is for you. Right. So she did. She was eating some crackers and she called Mike over. Just a reminder. You guys, I'm going to ask us to do this. I'm going to do it. I did the $1,000 that we talked about, whether y'all did it or not, and I gave it away. I gave it away. And I ain't bragging, but I gave it away. Because that's what God told me to do, right? And he keeps on blessing me, y'all. Right? I'm going to do this 57 cents as a reminder of this young, tiny soul. Here this Shauna is again. There we go. This young, tiny girl, right? 57 cents a day as a reminder that I am to be in cross training forever and a day. I am in cross training to build, because what our purpose, seek ye first the kingdom of God and to bring glory to his kingdom. If you make that your purpose, I feel like God will birth your purpose, meaning what you do here, that you will have an opportunity to do what you love because God is. I'm going to put this list out here right now after the show. Y'all go cross train. Go cross train. And if you feel the need, or when you feel the need, go get a bucket or something and drop 57 cents in remembrance of our little tiny soul who made such a difference in this world. And so we are to do the same. So be the change you want to see in this world. All right, Brandon, we're going to feed the ducks. Brother Trent says good morning. Yeah, we're going to feed the ducks. Do you have anything else, Brandon?
Nope, I'm all good. I appreciate y'all. Good to see you. Good to see you, Mom, and thank y'all for joining us. Let's get on down.
Feed the ducks. Take a minute to contemplate what we're going to put out there after the show. And if you're going to join me in the 57 cents a day, or whenever you feel the need, drop a comment. Like-minded people coming together. And God's word says, where there are two or more that is gathered in my name, not in our own name, and who He is in us, through us. There I am in the midst. All right. Y'all gonna be great.
All right, y'all. Peace.